You are floating in the ocean. The water beneath you is warm, clear, calm. Then you look down and the light disappears into blue-black nothing, and your entire body tenses at once. Nothing has actually happened. No shape has moved below you. No fin has broken the surface. And yet your heart is pounding like something is already there. This is thalassophobia, the fear of deep or open water. And it might be one of the strangest fears you own. Strange because you're not afraid of water itself. You've showered today. You've probably swum in a pool without a second thought. What you're afraid of is depth, the specific gut-level terror of not being able to see what's beneath you. Start with a question most people never ask. Why does a lack of information feel so much like danger? The psychologist Martin Seligman spent decades studying why certain fears seem to install themselves in humans almost instantly, while others take real, repeated bad experiences to form. He called it preparedness theory. Some fears aren't learned from scratch. They're preloaded, the evolutionary equivalent of a factory setting, ready to activate the moment the right trigger appears. Deep water is exactly that kind of trigger. For nearly all of human evolutionary history, murky or bottomless water meant one specific thing. Something could be down there, and you would have no warning before it reached you. Unlike a threat on land where you can usually see danger coming and choose to run, deep water strips away your ability to detect an approaching predator until it's already too late to react. The psychologist Susan Meneka ran a series of now famous experiments showing just how quickly this kind of fear can take hold. In her research, lab-raised monkeys with no prior fear of snakes learned to become terrified of them after watching just one other monkey react with fear. But when researchers tried the same experiment using flowers instead of snakes, the fear simply wouldn't stick, no matter how many times the monkeys watched a fearful reaction. Some threats, it turns out, are primed to be learned instantly. Others aren't wired in at all. Depth appears to sit firmly in that first category. Think about what makes the open ocean specifically unsettling, compared to, say, a dark room in your own house. In a dark room, you at least know the boundaries. You know roughly what's in there because you built the space yourself, or at least you've seen it in daylight. The open ocean offers no such comfort. It is enormous, largely unmapped even today, and almost entirely populated by creatures your brain has no template for. You are, quite literally, floating above an unknown your mind cannot fill in with anything except worst-case scenarios. The oceanographer Sylvia Earle, who has spent more hours in deep-sea exploration than almost anyone alive, has spoken often about just how little of the ocean humans have actually seen. More of the deep sea remains unmapped and unexplored than the surface of Mars. When your brain can't retrieve any real information about what's below you, it doesn't default to a calm blank. It defaults to imagining the worst possible thing that could be there. Because for most of your evolutionary history, that default kept your ancestors alive. There's a specific visual trigger buried in all of this too. Humans are remarkably good at detecting outlines and shapes, even in near-total darkness, a survival skill built for spotting predators in low light. But underwater, with murky visibility and shifting currents, your pattern recognition system is left running, with almost no usable data. It fires anyway. Shadows become shapes, shapes become threats. None of it requires a single real creature to be present. This is why even experienced swimmers, people who have logged hundreds of hours in open water without incident, still describe the same specific moment of dread. Treading water above a drop-off, watching the ocean floor disappear beneath them into darkness. Their rational mind knows the statistics. Shark attacks are exceedingly rare. Nothing in that water has any particular interest in them. But rational knowledge doesn't override a fear system built for a version of the world where visibility equaled safety, and its absence meant something was very possibly already watching. So the next time you're floating above water that fades to black beneath you, and your stomach tightens for no visible reason, understand what's actually happening. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's running one of its oldest and most efficient programs, a fear installed long before you were born, tuned specifically for exactly this moment. Warm water, calm surface, and an unknown darkness just beneath your feet. Nothing is down there. Almost certainly nothing is down there. But your body was built by ancestors for whom that uncertainty was never worth the risk, and some part of you is still floating in their ocean, still watching the dark.